I want you guys to pay very close attention to the stage that is currently being shown on screen. Seriously, analyze it if you have to. Take mental notes. Heck, even if you want to, grab a piece of paper and pen and jot down some notes on what you see up from this stage. So a few things that we should see that pop out at us right away. First up, the giant Wonder Woman statue. Heck, it's right there in the middle of the screen. Should be easy to spot, right? Also the Acme box that's right next to it. Alright, two big things from two different universes next to each other on the same stage. Interesting thought. But continuing on, we will also notice the big city in a jar over on the right hand side. Now the city in the jar happens to be a reference to the DC villain Brainiac, who collects cities. Okay, not bad. We got another random reference. So Wonder Woman, Acme from Looney Tunes, and now we got also Brainiac. But then we also have over on the left hand side that really big ass horn. What is the horn? Well, it happens to be called the Horn of Winter, and that's a Game of Thrones reference. So far, check Game of Thrones characters in the game. Yep. We have Wonder Woman who's playable in the game. Yep. We have DC villain. I guess checks. I mean, 'cause Brainiac's kind of tied to Superman, so we got Superman as well. Check. We got Acme. We know Bugs Bunny's in the game. So all these references are kind of adding up to things that are already in the game, right? Giving all these characters a reason to come together. But why are all these things on the Wonder Woman stage, you might ask? Well, what if I told you this actually isn't a Wonder Woman stage at all? Its actual name is Trophy's Edge, which we do see an actual screenshot of the name in the reveal trailer. Plus, we also see the Wonder Woman stage in the background, so we have a hard confirmation of what this stage is actually called. And then I was a little curious, so I went and did a little Google search just to see if anything else Trophy's Edge related popped up. And sadly, the only results that actually came up when searching for Trophy's Edge, I got a few hits about some racing videos, I guess. And there is even a link to like an archery website. I mean, archery's kind of cool, I suppose. Steve thinks it is. With all that taken into consideration, I'm kind of led to believe that Trophy's Edge might just be an originally designed stage for Multiverses. To a degree. It just so happens to have all these randomly placed things that Warner Brothers owns from all sorts of random series, all on one location. Why is this stage so important? Well, let me float this idea out to you guys. What if this stage, Themyscira, but actually Trophy's Edge, what if this is a major hint at a story mode, and it's been staring us in the face this entire time? So you see in some of the characters' bios on the official Multiversus website, like Rain Dog, who's an originally created character just for this game, and Tom and Jerry. It happens to mention the Nothing. Now, if you don't know what the Nothing is or who the Nothing is, the Nothing happens to be the main antagonist from the Never-Ending Story, which, guess what? Warner Brothers happens to own the Never-Ending Story. Are the pieces of the puzzle starting to come together a little bit? So the Nothing, it works by destroying fantasy type objects and stuff. It ends up absorbing it and then leaving, well, nothing behind. Hence the name the Nothing, right? Now what if, when it absorbs all these things, it needs a place to store everything, which is why we have Trophy's Edge. What if all these things that the Nothing has been collecting, the Horn of Winter from Game of Thrones, one of Brainiac's cities, the Wonder Woman statue, the Acme box, what if all those things are considered trophies as a part of a personal collection? This just happens to be the central hub of where the Nothing is keeping everything from the game, which is why this stage ties everybody together. And who's to say that more trophies may not show up over time? And of course, again, by trophies, I'm talking about objects, items. For example, what if the gameplay that we've seen from Trophy's Edge so far, what if it's only an early version of the stage? And by that, I mean, what if there's still objects that will be added later on? What if, for example, let's take How about Rick Sanchez's spaceship? What if you use that in the waterfall? What if that's just kind of like floating down the waterfall and then eventually just kind of like falls off the edge? Or what if you even take the mystery machine, the van from Scooby-Doo? What if you park that somewhere on the stage? There's a little island in the background that you could kind of park that on. So I'm just saying, what if more things can be added over time? I believe that is very possible. So this is essentially, again, the central hub of where everything the nothing collects and absorbs. This is just where it happens to go. This is just its trophy case, dare you say. So I want to bring up another thing here real quick, just something that I noticed. Look at this mysterious tower in the background of the stage real quick. Is this another important place in the WB universe that happened to get absorbed by the nothing, which sent it to Trophy's Edge? Well, it's a little hard to kind of make out exactly what kind of building or tower this might be, but it is on the stage, and I think that's important. They're not going to just put some random tower that means absolutely nothing on this stage when they have so many different things that have great meaning to them already on the stage. So there's a tower in the background, and that could play a factor. Maybe it's something else we end up seeing later down the line. Now, quickly take a look at this screenshot of Trophy's Edge as well. Look at it in the background, right where that tower should be. You notice how it's not even there? It's missing. It's almost like they do add stuff to this stage over time. Or maybe my theory about they can add stuff to this stage over time does actually compute. We'll end up seeing more on this, but I do believe that things can be added to this stage, like we are seeing with this one right here. There's no tower in this one, but then in this one we see the tower. So let's take a look at the facts real quick, right? We have a stage that looks like Themyscira, but it's actually called Trophy's Edge, and it has all sorts of random objects from the WB universe, with possibly more being added over time. Also, the Nothing from the Neverending Story, which Warner Brothers owns, happens to be mentioned in a few characters' bios on the official website, which leads me to believe these characters, not just Tom and Jerry and not just Raindog, but every playable character will have some sort of interaction with the Nothing, almost like they might have to fight the Nothing, almost like the Nothing might be a final boss of a story mode, right? So to the best of my knowledge, Tom and Jerry have never interacted with the Nothing before. I might be wrong. If I am, please let me know. But I do know for a fact that Raindog, being a brand new, originally created character for Multiversus, has never interacted with the Nothing before because, well, he just exists starting now, right? So when these characters have never interacted before, why are they being mentioned in the bios? There's a reason the Nothing is being mentioned. The clues are there. They're right in our face. So with the way that the Nothing acts by absorbing these things and being an antagonist, these things kind of do line up for that potential villain of a story mode. And that's going to be the reason why all these characters have been brought together. You don't just bring Shaggy and Batman and Tom and Jerry and Bugs Bunny. You don't just bring them all together for one game. There's got to be kind of a reason, right? And maybe a story mode is going to explain that. And that's why we have a very compelling case for why Multiversus has been hiding a story mode right in front of our faces this entire time.